let's get started and explore the new Axiom Raymarine display units. On the right side we have all the buttons necessary to run the machine. There's a couple buttons though we won't be using. This one on the right with the dot in it we will not be using, or the standby auto button, which is used for autopilots. But let's carry on and turn the unit on by holding and pressing the on-off button for 2 seconds and watch it start up. Once the Raymarine starts up, you'll see the home screen. This is where it's got applications on it, anywhere from chart plotting to radar to the depth sounder to the FLIR camera. So this is very similar to what you'll see on an iPad or your smartphone. So we'll treat it like that. It's very intuitive. There's usually a number of ways we can get to a screen, do certain functions. And let's just start on the right side. You'll see all the buttons. You'll see the home button up here. That takes us to and from applications. We always press that if we want to go back to this screen. Another one is a menu button. So we'll be using this on the top right, and also the waypoint and man overboard button. By pressing it once, we can add a waypoint where we are or where the cursor is, or by pressing and holding for 3 to 4 seconds, it'll actually present a man overboard. And lastly is the on-off switch, and it also allows us, by pressing it once while the system is started up, will allow us to change the brightness. By pressing it once, it allows us to change the brightness of the screen. And you can also, if it's turned down and after a mission at nighttime and you want it, you can't see it, if you just press it again, it'll actually step up about 10% each time you press that on-off button to the display you'd like. And then also by shutting it down, if you want to shut down the unit, you'll just press the on-off button and then press and hold the icon to turn it off. Another function of the buttons on the right side, you'll see a uni controller. This controller consists of an OK button in the center, directional knobs that you press on either side up or down, and a rotary knob that you'll turn side to side to zoom in and zoom out for things. The rotary knob, when turning it clockwise, you'll be ranging in on objects, or counterclockwise to range out or zoom out of a particular screen you're in, whether it's in your chart screen or your radar. So just by turning the outside of the knob, we'll range it in and range it out. Similarly, you'll see a plus and minus button on the bottom. We can also range in or zoom in and zoom out, either on the chart screen or the radar. As you can see, we also have a split screen option for these multifunction displays. Now, whenever we're using a split screen where we have 2 or more active screens or 2 or more screens, we need to actually tell the Raymarine display which one has the focus. You can see that there's a little orange border around this screen telling you that it has the focus. Right now it's showing on the chart display. However, if we want to switch over to the radar, we can hit this active button until the radar has the display. So now all the controls and the buttons will be operating on the radar screen, and nothing will be operating and touching the chart plotter. By pressing it again, we'll actually bring the active application over to the chart plotter, which now all the controls will operate that particular screen. So, as mentioned earlier, there's usually more than one way to perform a function. In this case, we have the waypoint man overboard button. We also have the waypoint man overboard icon on the far left top of the screen. So should we want to actually press for a waypoint, we can either press it here or press it over here. Will give us the same function. That'll allow us to set a waypoint, and that's wherever the cursor is or wherever the boat is. So if we also want to do a man overboard, we'll go into this later, but by pressing pressing and holding the man overboard button will actually activate a man overboard range. Another area on the home screen you'll want to take a look at when you first start up is your display status area, and that allows us to find out what's happening with our GPS satellites, what our fix is, and you can see what the H-stop is on our system. With the touchscreen of the new Raymarine Axiom systems, it allows us to give popover menus. These popover menus is simply data that you can see and bring up when you need to by simply sliding your finger across the screen and showing the displays. On the old Raymarine systems, these used to be a display bar that was always on top. But this way we can actually hide it and see more visible screen on the display. You'll see the vessel position, course over ground, speed over ground, and the time. So if you want to get rid of it, you can just simply hit the X and it's removed. And if you're moving the screen around on the display, you can also hit the center button to center your boat again on the screen. So again, just by simply sliding your finger across to the right and then hitting the X to take it off. This video just gave us a brief overview of what to look forward to in our new electronics for the rescue boat.